Welcome back, everybody. Chef David here with NuWave. Continuing our cooking series here with our NuWave pressure cooker. Today I'm using mine on top of the PIC, the Precision Induction Cooktop. You can use this on a gas stove as well. We're going to start off today, we're going to make a seafood stew. Very classic from San Francisco called Cioppino. We'll start off with some fennel. You guys may have seen this in the supermarket. It's kind of celery-like in nature, but it smells like licorice or anise. It's beautiful. So what I do is very simple. Take off the tops. But don't throw these away. We're going to use some of these fronds later on for garnish. And also we can use these for a few other different recipes, and we'll get to that another time. But certainly don't toss them out. I mean, at worst, put them in your compost, okay? So we're going to save those for later. We'll save the sprung later for garnish. Cut the fennel in half. Cut the half in half again. Okay, that's going to expose the core. You see the core running through here? You can see that? We need to trim that out. Okay, this way it'll be easier to thinly slice or julienne. Okay? It's not a big deal, we just trim it out. Also save these, compost them. These make wonderful, you can flavor these. Use this to flavor a cream or a soup, these cores, and then pull them out later. Also, animals love them, chickens and pigs if you have a farm. And again, put them in the compost. Thinly sliced. Then we're going to add some onion to this dish as well. But I want to get the fennel going first because the fennel is a pretty hearty vegetable and needs a little time to cook. Matter of fact, in this dish, the fennel will take the longest. Seafood's going to cook quickly. Onions will cook quickly. Tomatoes are from a tin, so they're already cooked. Okay? Extra virgin olive oil. And in goes my fennel. Oh boy, I love that sound. We get these in and get the onion in, we'll talk about some herbs, okay? Compost again, and then onion thinly sliced. These onions are going to break down. Mix with the fennel and give us the base of the flavor here. All right. So, fennel, onion, olive oil. It already sounds good. I want to get a little caramelization on the fennel. As you can see here, it's a little hot, but brown. That licorice flavor is turning into sugar. Oh, it's going to be really, really amazing flavor. If you haven't had fennel, please try it. You can saute it just in olive oil, serve it as a side dish. I like it as the base to my seafood cioppino. Next, we have a bunch of herbs. I've got fresh oregano. That's wonderful. I've got fresh marjoram, fresh thyme from the garden, and also we picked, I love fresh bay leaves. We won't use all of these, but a good number of them. But the oregano and the marjoram, the fresh thyme are good components to this dish, okay? So next thing, we're basically just gonna make our stock that the seafood's gonna cook quickly in. Look at this caramelization we're getting. This is amazing how fast that's cooking. Butcher cracked pepper, I love, put that in. Pinch of salt now. Start pulling out some of the liquid from the vegetables now that they've cooked. A few cloves of garlic that I'm just gonna smash. Now certainly if you want to chop these up and add it that way, you could. I'm going to smash mine. I'm going to give a little more crunchy feel to the dish, and then I can remove them later. All right. Now, to the bulk of the dish, we have some tomatoes. Whole peel plum tomatoes. You can break them up by hand. You can roughly chop them. We're going to use some of the juice in the dish, along with some vegetable tomato juice, like a V8, some white wine. And that's going to be our dish. We're going to add the seafood. It's going to cook like that. So the tomatoes are going in. Break them up with your hand. This is 1 can, 16-ounce can of tomatoes. And again, if you can see inside this pot, you're going to see the tomatoes are still kind of chunky, and it's going to give that rustic type of stew that I'm looking for here, okay? Also, the kids love to smash up the tomatoes. Let them have at it. Get them involved in the cooking process as much as you can. Kids, grandkids. All right, so tomatoes in. Get my wooden spoon again. And that's gonna start cooling off, and now we're starting to develop the stock. Next up is the wine. And the V8. So now very simply what I'm gonna do with this, you're gonna love how easy this recipe ends. I'm gonna take my bay leaves. Try to find a fresh one, guys, trust me on that. Well, that's what I do with the oregano. I'm just gonna pull the leaves off. They're gonna cook down, they're very edible. You don't always have to finely chop your herbs. You can just put whole leaves in there. The leaves are gonna be soft and tender. Just make sure you don't have the stem. Nobody wants to chew on a stem. This is simple country cooking right here, guys. All right. And then we've got the marjoram, same thing. I want the leaves. And the thyme, because this comes on this, from my garden, some mess, huh? Comes on these heavier branches. You can sit here and try to pick them off. I put it in whole. Simple reason I can pick this whole thing out later and the leaves have fallen off it. Okay? Now for the seafood. We've got clams right on top. 1, 2, 3. I've got mussels right on top of that. And any of the liquid that comes out of the clams or the mussels, right in that pot. I've got some beautiful little Gulf shrimp. And then there's my juice. And then right on top, I'm gonna lay a nice piece of fish. The fish is eventually gonna flake out and go through the stew, so I'm gonna leave it on top whole. So here goes. I've also got some crab meat, but since it's cooked, that'll be added at the end. Lid on, locked. Number 2, we're gonna bring this up to temperature. When that pops, we're gonna lower it, we're gonna cook it for 6 minutes, and we're gonna have some Cioppino as soon as we come back. Welcome back, everybody. Gonna finish off our seafood stew, our San Francisco Cioppino, in our pressure cooker here. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna release the pressure. I'm gonna turn my heat source off, we don't need it. I'm gonna release the pressure valve. I love that sound. So does my son. As soon as that releases, we're gonna open it up. We're gonna serve our seafood. This should have given us a beautiful, nice, fragrant broth from all the seafood that we put in there, from the fennel base and the onions and the garlic. Unlock, turn. Again, any condensation. Look how fresh this fish looks, guys. You're gonna love this. Watch this. I told you I put the fish on top so it would flake off. Look at the color we have in here from the tomato, from the seafood, from the fennel. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Mussels are just opening. The shrimp are just cooked through. This is beautiful. Let's plate this up. So what we're going to do to this, first thing I do, I want to taste it for salt. Maybe a little pinch for my taste. It's easier to salt it now than later in the bowl. So take the fish. This is a nice piece of Atlantic cod. I'll just hold this on the side because I want to flake this on top later. All right. I'm going to pick this whole thing up and let you guys see the mussels, the shrimp, and the beautiful color of the broth from the tomato and the fennel. The clams, beautiful, just open, still fresh inside, not overcooked. There's the fresh thyme I was talking about. I just pull the whole thing out. Look at that. I got the oregano and the marjoram floating around in there. Oh, this is beautiful. With a loaf of bread, guys. Something nice to drink. There's my bay leaf. This is how I got my son to start eating seafood. He got really interested in this particular dish with the different mix of seafood that we could put in it. And I top it with some broth. Okay, now, if you wanted to, a little butcher cracked pepper, some fresh parsley, Okay, my fennel frond. Now, if you guys wanted to, I've got the crab meat here. I could put the crab meat sprinkled throughout the stew. What I like to do, if I do buy the crab meat, I wait till everybody eats all the shellfish, whatever broth and vegetables I have left, then I mix the crab in there and serve it the next day. Seafood stew, San Francisco Cioppino style. Enjoy.